strangers coming soon, while 7,000 sleep. Silhouettes are gone, like wolves to kill the sheep. Nameless men have heard the cry of silent pounding wolves, while nameless men like you and I will never hear the wolves. When they are one, the day will come. But who will move to take its gun? Who will hear the pounding wolves? It's the day of the wolves. No one here will know your name and nothing else of you. No one knows from where you came and nothing that you do. After all, it's just a game, and you're invited to. So take your share, but be aware someday it could be you. When they are one, the day will come. But who will move to take his gun? Who will hear the pounding wolves? It's the day of
Good afternoon, sir. Having lunch?
Hi. Could you take me to the manager's office?
Police! Help! Police!
Good morning.
bathroom, so you only have to go through the gate number 39 and be...
Welcome to the club.
You have been instructed to remain silent and not ask questions. The duration of the trip is 2.5 hours. On the seat next to you are gloves, a blindfold, and sunglasses. Put them on. Do not ask questions. On the seat next to you are gloves, a blindfold, and sunglasses. Put them on.
Driver, how much longer? We've been on the road about 2 hours already.
You have been instructed to remain silent and not ask questions. The duration of the trip is 2.5 hours. Under no circumstances are you to remove the blindfold until instructed to do so. remove the blindfold now.
Thanks. I was beginning to get a little woozy.
Just the blindfold. The gloves stay on. Reedy. Come. We'll meet the others. You call me number one, and you'll be known as four. Remember that. Gentlemen, this is number four, and the last one to arrive. Number three, number five, number six, number seven, number two. Please, be seated. Well, I'm sure you're all anxious to know what we're up to. And now that we're all here, I'll begin. But first, I want to assure all of you that my deal with each and every one of you is identical. Each one of you was selected from a distant area, and each one was guaranteed a minimum of $50,000. Now, the total time involved is 3 days. Question number 5?
Yeah. Why all this? Just what are we going to do?
Well, I think it's obvious. We're going to pull off a job. A big one. And this is going to be perfect. You know, gentlemen, a perfect crime is not so much in its execution, but in being able to get away with it. Whenever a big job is pulled, like the Brinks Hall or the English mail train robbery, almost immediately the full force and power of the law goes into effect. No expense is too great to apprehend the criminals. Now, gentlemen, if I may be blunt, with your past records, we can assume that at least one of you will be under suspicion once the job is finished. Now, let us further assume you're forced to talk. What is it you possibly could tell them? You were contacted by a man you didn't know, sent an airplane ticket, told to fly to Los Angeles, picked up in an automobile, blindfolded, driven approximately 2.5 to 3 hours to a place you've never been to before, haven't the slightest idea where it is. Then you were introduced to 6 men, all wearing beards, with no names, answering only to numbers from 1 to 7.
And what we don't know can't hurt us.
Exactly.
And the gloves?
Fingerprints, of course. In the unlikely event someone should rediscover this place. So remember, you keep them on at all times. You even sleep with them on.
So we remain a mystery to each other.
Exactly. Even to my driver. I'm the only one who knows each man's identity. You must never reveal your names, your past, your family, the city or state that you're from. In short, you're to reveal nothing about yourselves. Your very lives will depend on each man's attitude and action during the mission and on each man's ignorance afterward. Is that understood? Good. Now, to simplify things, change into your jumpsuits on your cots. And we'll be cooking for ourselves. We have a stove and a refrigerator stocked with frozen food, beer, and soft drinks. Any questions?
Yeah. Exactly what kind of job are we going to be pulling off?
You'll learn more about that in the morning. In the meantime, gentlemen, remember that for the next 3 days, silence is very, very golden.
That's the damnedest thing I've ever heard of.
Makes sense to me. I'm afraid I'll talk in my sleep.
I'm 5, in case I forget.
He thought of everything.
How did he contact you?
By phone. And he sent me airline tickets and instructions.
You mean you never saw him until today?
You?
Same.
How do we know he's on 11? You know, there's something about him that's very strange. I don't even know why I'm here.
Well, I know why I'm here.
$50,000. That's what the man said.
That's it. It's pretty cagey.
What do you think it will be?
I don't know. The way he's covered himself, it's got to be Fort Knox.
With 7 guys?
It's something special.
I can understand your curiosity. Today I'll start answering some of your questions. Now, if this seems to be even more confusing, don't let it worry you. It'll soon be made quite clear. Outside this building, there are shacks denoting the positions indicated on this board. Is that clear?
No, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm thick or something. But I've got to know in terms just what hour we're going to hit.
A town. You mean something in a town? No, I mean a town.
You mean a bank?
Well, there are 2 banks there, among other things.
2 banks?
I mean, we're going to hit a whole town. We're going to keep it for 3 hours and peel it like an orange. Whew. A whole town. To be precise, 2 banks, 2 supermarkets, a machine shop, and a lumber yard. It'll be on Friday, which is mid-month payday.
And that's worth?
That's worth, my friend, between $1.2 million and $1.4 million. This is no ordinary town, gentlemen. This is a new model city. Fat, relaxed, and unsuspecting.
But how can a handful of us take a whole town?
1 wolf can maul a whole flock of sheep. Imagine what 7 can do.
my buggy. What the hell is it, Pete? You trying to be big man? Want to be the big gun in town? Got nothing better to do with your time, pig. Back off.
Now, you listen real good, punk. I don't know how many people you nearly killed today.
Don't give me that.
You and your pot-smoking friends are grounded. You read me?
Oh, man, there's going to be a scene, Pete. A bad scene.
You do that, jerk. You tell your old man. I don't give a damn.
Now, let's settle this once and for all. Is Pete Anderson to stay on as chief, or do we get us a new man? Look, the question here is whether we establish that this town is run by its council or its chief of police.
Now, don't get emotional. In my opinion, Pete Anderson is a first-class officer of the law. It isn't easy to get men of his caliber.
Nobody doubts his qualification as chief, but well, what we mean is he lacks the proper respect due to this council. Furthermore, I don't like the way you handle the particulars.
You mean he won't compromise his office for the whims of some of the city fathers?
Are you accusing me of arbitrarily using my office?
If the shoe fits.
Now, let's be rational.
Mr. Mayor.
What?
I move that the council consider the dismissal of Pete Anderson as police chief and the appointment of a committee to seek a new man for the job.
Very well. The council has a resolution before it. Yes?
Chief Anderson is here, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, fine. Have him come in, will you? Oh, and call the station. Have Officer Harris report to me right away. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Morning, Pete. Sit down, will you?
Well, bad news, I suppose.
I'm sorry to say it is.
No allocation for more men? No raise in salary for me, huh?
More than that, Pete.
What else could it be? We've only got 2 police cars. We don't even have a decent jail. What happens when something really hits this town?
Wellington is a model city. See, we're a good, safe distance from big cities, big city crime. And Pete, well, I've known you for a long time. I've always had the highest respect for you.
Get to it, Mr. Mayor.
All right, the council wants your resignation.
So that's it.
It was their idea. Now, I was against it.
They say why?
Maybe they just feel the town needs a change.
So what is it, Mr. Mayor? Am I being fired for being a lousy cop?
Oh, no, you're a damn good cop. Best there is for the money in my book, you bet. But you've ruffled too many feathers, Pete. You see, this town is going places. We've received national attention that it's a nice, quiet, progressive town, great for tourists. We don't want to rock the boat, you know. We don't want to cast any doubts on our future, right?
Mm-hmm. Like having a decent police force. When the time comes, somebody spots this town for a pushover.
Now, it's that kind of talk, Pete. Scaring people, making them think the mafia will be here any day. And, Pete, another thing, you sometimes step down pretty hard on people. Take those kids, for instance. You were pretty hard on them.
So that's it. Pot-smoking punks. I don't know. I guess I thought the law applied to everybody. Maybe I tried too hard. I spent most of my life in these parts. 11 years as deputy sheriff, 6 years as chief. What do I do now, Mayor? Flush it down the pipes and forget it?
I want to tell you, Pete, that on your resignation, that'll be nothing on the record that the council reprimanded you in any way or that you had any action taken against you.
You're going to seem strange.
Yes?
Officer Harris is on his way, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, thank you. I thought he'd be okay till the council decides what they want to do.
Well, just when am I supposed to resign?
Well, that's more or less up to you.
All right. Finish up the week. I'll be out by Friday.
Pete, do you mind Officer Harris explain things?
Okay. Is that all?
Remember, I meant it. You're still number 1 in my book, and if you ever need a recommendation, you've got it.
Thanks.
Hell with the council.
Thanks.
Pete, do you know whether you're going to stay on in town or not?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Hi, Pete. What's up?
You're kidding. Nope. I've got another surprise for you.
Oh, and what's that?
You've got my job till the town council decides what to do.
It's a little early in the morning for bad jokes.
What joke? I'm out, you're in.
Pete. Why?
I don't know. I guess I rubbed some people the wrong way. You better watch your step. They're hungry for chiefs around here. They eat them for breakfast.
Pete, I don't know that I can handle it. I can't pull it off. I can't do your job. I've never had that much responsibility in my life.
Just relax. Take it easy. Besides, according to the mayor, nothing exciting ever happens in Wellington.
Everything is exact timing and coordination. Now, the county seat is 75 miles from here, which leaves us approximately 3 safe hours to complete the mission. Now, all our objectives are within a radius of 3 blocks. Now, let's take it in order. Number 2?
3 and I blow the road north of town.
Right. As we approach from the south, we all first take care of the south road. You and 3 will be in charge of the plastiques. Number 4?
5 and I take care of the telephone exchange.
Allowing 10 minutes for number 6.
7 and I take the police station.
Right. Now, there's a police chief and 3 officers. One will be on duty. The other 3 will be in their respective homes having lunch. You must call them down to the station. But don't forget, you have only 10 minutes before 4 and 5 knock out the phone lines. And then?
On the way in from the road, we blow the power station.
Right. And now the town is an island. Cut off from the rest of the world.
Pete? Peter, you're just gonna sit out here and drink all night.
Maybe.
Won't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Will, come say goodnight to your father.
You all set for bed, boy?
Sure, Dad. Dad, is it true what they say about your quitting as chief?
That's right, son.
But why?
Oh, maybe I thought we ought to move on, maybe to a big city.
You mean it?
Sure, wouldn't you like that? A lot more excitement than here in Wellington.
Gee, I don't know, Dad.
Well, don't let it worry you. I haven't made up my mind about anything. You hop off to bed, huh?
Dad, since you're off the force now, can I hit him? Those kids I'd say are a lousy cop, can't I?
You sure can, boy. Hit him one for me, too.
Pete, I don't like it. You're telling Will he can go ahead and get into fights at school.
Well, at least he can hit back at him.
You give them 17 years, and now just because a couple of no-account people want the town for themselves, you...
Let him have it.
Did you mean what you said to Will about pulling out?
Maybe.
But you've been here all your life. It's all you know. Why should we move? We've got roots here. You're not a kid anymore, Pete. How are you going to find another job?
I'm a man, aren't I? I've got arms and legs. I can work. What do you think I am?
Still a jack-in-the-box.
How do you mean?
I mean, we know what to do when we hit this place. But how do we get in? And how do we get out?
Matter of fact, we don't even know the name of the place. Or where it is.
I'll tell you one thing. Nobody's ever pulled a job like this before. Every cop in the world will be out for us. Wherever it is, we better get the hell out fast.
That's crazy.
Maybe he's crazy.
Yeah, like a fox.
What do you really think? I mean, about him, our fearless leader.
Hell, I don't know. Sometimes I think he's a brain, a real genius. Then other times I wonder, what am I doing in the desert playing cops and robbers with some loony?
I know what you mean.
Got to admit he's got guts.
Yeah, ours if this thing doesn't work out exactly the way he figures it.
It's a chance hitting a whole town. But I like it. Got class. Know what I mean?
So it's kind of wild. Let's face it, my line is not exactly soft touches and easy deals all the way.
Of course, I agree. And it's that element of surprise. I like that, too.
Well, I hope you guys don't think I sell pencils for a living. And talk about surprise. You should have seen this bank that I knocked over. Easy now. No places, no names. Nothing for us to know about each other.
Quite right. Our own ignorance is our best insurance policy.
Well, I'm getting a little itchy with these gloves on all the time in this suit. The price is right. Yeah, over $1 million. But I don't know. Can a plain, ordinary town be worth that kind of cash?
Why not? Take 5,000 or 6,000 average working people. Give them a couple of $100 every 2 weeks. Figure it out.
Already did. It's $1 million easy. You mean that kind of money's lying around in small towns all over the country and nobody ever thought of this kind of hit before?
It does excite the imagination. Consider the possibilities.
Different town every month. We could retire in a year. It's all right with me. In a year's time, do you think we can get around to calling each other by our first names? 'Cause these numbers are getting to me.
Gentlemen, Messieurs, 6 and 7, good night. See you in the morning.
How about it, big man? Should we turn in too? I guess. You know, you think that they'd let you call me Pancho or Algernon, anything. Damn numbers.
You've learned well, gentlemen. Your movement to each location is perfectly coordinated. There will be 3 teams. The team leaders will be 2, 4, and 6. You're to keep in contact through these radios. I, too, will be carrying one, but you mustn't depend on them. I can't risk this entire mission on something stupid like static or a mechanical breakdown. So remember, timing is still the vital factor. Is that understood?
Yeah. But where are we going and how do we get there?
All right, gentlemen. To satisfy your curiosity, we take a town called Wellington, which is within 500 miles of where we're standing right now.
Okay. How do we get there?
That you won't find out until tomorrow when we're about to leave. Meanwhile, there's just today to continue your training. I want you to do it over and over and over again until it's completely automatic. Is that clear? Very well. Team leaders? Strike beam to loud gun.
Hi, Pete. Oh, hi, Frank. Just coming to see you.
Oh, what can I do for you?
Well, I guess you heard.
Yeah. Something about you and some of the council, huh?
Uh-huh. I'm out.
Yeah, if you ask me, that's a dirty, rotten shame.
Well, thanks. I expect Maggie and me will be moving on.
You leaving Wellington?
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to give you notice. Rent's due on the 1st of the month.
Sure hate to see you go.
Oh, you get somebody to rent the house.
I don't mean that's no problem. I hate to see you leaving like this.
I guess life's like that.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Gonna hand in my badge tomorrow, and then we'll go over to the county seat and have a look around.
Look, Pete, why don't you stick around for a while? You know, everybody in this town is your friend. No, I mean it. Oh, well, maybe some of those old codgers on the council don't see eye to eye with you, but comes next election, there are going to be some changes made around here.
Thanks, Frank, but I can't afford to wait around for an election. Besides, I wouldn't want to try something different, at least not in my own hometown, you know?
You sure you won't change your mind?
Well, now, don't worry. Like you say, things might change. I might be able to come back.
You bet. And believe me, I'm going to be one guy that's going to be talking around here because this is a dirty deal.
Thanks, Frank. I'll see you before we go.
You sure will.
Now then, the bank, phone company, power station, machine shop, the business entrance is on the side street, and the lumber yard. You'll have to pass the auto gate in order to get to the paymaster's window. Clear?
How about all the other places?
Small change and too much time involved. If at all possible, avoid any killings. If you have to shoot, aim low. We just want to take the cream and then out. I already said all that. Pal, out. Be patient, my friend. We travel first class. In and out.
All right, guys, let's do it again.
You bet. I mean, like I told you, as of tomorrow, I take over. Honey, they're not going to dig up a new chief overnight. Okay. Okay, I promise. We'll set the date for certain. Oh, honey, I told you, he's out. I mean, really out. As of tomorrow, you're talking to the new chief. Honey, look, something just came up. I'll talk to you later, huh? That was Gingy. Know how it is with women. She's all in the air about my taking over as chief tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Anything I can do?
Huh? Oh, no, I just thought I'd come in and clean out my desk. Suddenly I feel lousy. Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes, Hank. I guess it just proves you shouldn't get too used to anything.
Maybe I ought to quit, too. Show those old buzzers.
Oh, no. Somebody's got to keep the peace. You'll do fine.
I don't know. I don't know if I can.
Sure you will. I'll check out tomorrow morning.
Pete, look, suppose something comes up that I can't handle. Who can I turn to?
Well, Hank, the county seat's an hour and a half away. You can call the sheriff's office there for help anytime. You know that.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Well, think about it. Wellington. Population 7,000. Now, what could happen here that you couldn't handle?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's just another Friday.
Very neat. Neat indeed. He thinks of everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we had our own Navy.
Pack your belongings, gentlemen. Can't afford to leave anything behind. Everything okay? All right. Buckle your seatbelts and relax. We have a 2-hour flight ahead of us.
In case you're wondering, our destination is a remote farm about 20 miles from the town.
I was afraid to ask. I thought you'd set this thing down on the main street of the town.
I was considering it, but a helicopter's a little too difficult to obtain. An airplane is much easier to steal.
Honest, Pete, we're gonna miss you.
Thanks, Phil. I'll stop by once in a while, see how things are.
Pete, maybe you want to come over and have dinner with Ginger tomorrow night?
Oh, not this time, Hank. We'll be out of town this weekend. Fact is, I'm checking out right now. Here it is. Well, I guess that's all there is to it. Short and simple.
There's nothing short or simple about the years that you spent here, Pete.
Thanks, Hank. You take it easy. You too, Phil. Well, I'll be seeing you.
One of them small planes buzzed a little low, I guess.
I heard something.
You know, maybe they're having a little trouble. I better go outside and look around.
Sit down and drink your coffee. You know, you can't go running around every time you hear a plane going over.
Okay, Mildred, okay. You win.